for this week's report. Project updates from Exeter Public Works. Information about National Night Out. River Advisory Committee hears updates on Pickpocket Dam. Progress made in Parks and Rec Center renovations. A reminder about the Great Cocktail Challenge. Planning Board reviews mixed-use development on Portsmouth Ave. And Exeter celebrates Independence 2 weeks late. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread word about the show and all things Exeter. For the first segment, Dan Monchek takes a trip around town to see what projects Public Works has going on.
With summer weather in full swing, the Exeter Department of Public Works has been hard at work to keep Exeter roads safe and smooth for all travelers. To accomplish this, there are a series of ongoing roadwork projects taking place right now. We went out to these project sites and met up with DPW to learn more about what they're doing to improve Exeter's roads. The first site we stopped at was the Linden Street Bridge. This bridge has been in need of repair for a little while now, and funds have finally been allocated to begin restoration.
The goal of this project was to stabilize the bridge abutment. The bridge was made in the 90s. It has wooden abutments. It washed out during the Mother's Day floods, so they're going to be increasing the footings on the bridge.
The bridge was closed down this past Monday and will remain closed until mid-November while repairs are underway. While the bridge is shut down, traffic is being diverted down Kimball Hill or back out to Front Street. Detour signs are already posted to note this change. Next, we stopped at the repaving project on Industrial Drive and Commerce Way. Last year, these roads were ground down and a base coat was applied to the surface. As part of a planned delay, the roads were left alone for a year while everything settled. This year, DPW came back to finish the job, and it should be complete by the end of July. The next site we visited was the Drinkwater Road repaving project. This road has been in need of repair for several years now, and it's finally time for the project to be completed. Most of the paving is already finished. DPW just needs to repave the last 500 feet where Drinkwater ties into High Street.
With the potholes filled, it'll be a lot safer out there for both pedestrians, bicyclists, and the motoring public.
Sidewalks along this road are also getting upgraded. They will be replaced and improved for pedestrian safety. Both the repaving and sidewalk replacement should be complete within the next few weeks. At our last stop, we went to Epping Road to see how the road widening project is coming along. This improvement will provide a safer path for pedestrians who access it. During construction, DPW will also be upgrading the drainage capacity, making sure that water drains where it's supposed to. While these projects may cause minor delays in the short term, in the long term, they will keep Exeter roads safe and in great condition. All thanks to the hard work put in by the Exeter DPW.
Up next, a quick reminder about the upcoming National Night Out with Detective Bruce Page.
Good afternoon, I'm Detective Page with the Exeter Police Department. I'm here to talk to you about National Night Out. National Night Out is going to be in the Townhouse Common again this year, just like last year, across from the police department. It's going to be August 5th from 4 to 7 p.m. This year we've got a huge bonus. We're going to have a magician there. His name is Chris Herrick. He's going to be at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock to 7. We're going to have live music until then, until 6 o'clock. The two of us, the Beatles tribute band, will be here just like last year. Some of the other events at National Night Out this year, we have a dunk tank. We got a bunch of people that I've recruited to go in the dunk tank this year. We have face painting, there's balloon animals, temporary tattoos. The Knights of Columbus will be giving out slushies again from our slushie machine that we have. Lions always gives out free bottles of water. A couple food trucks out here, Lexi's and Whoa Nelly Deli will be here. So all kinds of cool stuff. We're hoping everybody comes out, enjoys themselves. You get to know the officers. You can come over to us, ask questions. Like a personal level, you get to know the officers. This year, our event is sponsored by Seacoast Crime Stoppers. And we also have a couple other sponsors that are going to pay for the Magic Act this year. Exeter Kiwanis and the Knights of Columbus are sponsoring the Magic Show. And we want to give a special thank you to Staples, who printed all our stuff out for us, Stratum Staples. So a big thank you to them too. We hope everybody comes out August 5th, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., Townhouse Common. Thank you.
The River Advisory Committee met earlier this week to hear updates from Public Works on several river-related items, including an update on the Pickpocket Dam. This is your meeting minute for the July 17th River Advisory Committee meeting. Charged with advising the Select Board in all matters relating to the management of the Exeter and Swampscott River, the committee held its first meeting since December of last year to hear updates from Public Works on the Exeter Reservoir Dam and the Pickpocket Dam. Town engineer Paul Velasic was joined by Stephanie Huduk from the engineering company VHB to present a final version of the feasibility study for the dam, which sits just behind the surface water treatment plant on Portsmouth Ave.
Sometimes this dam is referred to as the Waterworks Dam. As you know, we got a letter of deficiency for a Pickpocket Dam a while back. At that time, the town decided to evaluate this Exeter Reservoir Dam. There's no letter of deficiency against the dam right now. This is just something that the town did on their own proactively to make sure we're maintaining our dams. So as part of that, we completed an updated breach analysis. The breach analysis found that the dam is correctly classified as a high hazard dam. The reason why is because it overtops Portsmouth Avenue. It also floods the water treatment plant. And then down here is the pump station, this sewer pump station here. So this blue outline here is the 100-year extents from a breach. So we look at the 100-year storm if the dam were to fail.
The presentation went on to talk about the current structure and several alternatives should the town want to move forward with modifications to the dam. The alternatives involve raising the dam by a variety of heights, adjusting or replacing the spillways, and potentially adding materials to the front of the dam, also known as overtopping, to reinforce the structure.
You can see alternative 2 is the highest by quite a bit, so that one was automatically nixed from just further investigation, which I'll talk about in a minute. Alternative 3 you can see is the least expensive, but that's also the one that would require wiping out the water treatment plant, which that cost is not included in this. Alternative 4 and 1 are relatively close to each other considering the overall costs. One cost that's not included in these but highlighted at the bottom is that reconstructing that sluiceway to have adequate capacity is around a little over $1 million. So it gets pretty pricey there. But that's something that we would need regardless of the alternative.
After a presentation, DPW Director Stephen Cronin talked about the status of the surface water treatment plant, which could be impacted by work on the reservoir dam.
Based on the condition of the existing facilities, the current treatment process, and current regulations as well as projected regulations, rebuilding at the site is probably not going to be feasible. The existing facilities are just beyond their current useful life and really would need significant upgrades to meet any sort of new regulation. So the recommendation is likely going to be to replace the current facility at another location.
After a continued discussion on the alternatives, the meetings moved on to an update on the Pickpocket Dam project. The project has been awarded a Great Bay 2030 grant for $300,000, but has not received any other grant funding at this time. Paul Velasic described the scope of work that is being planned with the awarded grant funding.
The first 2 columns, the pre-design and survey, and also engineering design, is where this $300,000 effort will focus. But if you look at the very bottom where it says submittal completions on that second column, we will go up to the 60% submission with the Great Bay 2030 funds.
The hope is that this work will provide the town enough information to begin reaching out to the public for feedback on proposed designs. Public Works is expected to have another update for the committee in September or October. The committee set their next meeting for September 18th. See you there. Renovations are underway at 10 Hampton Road, the future home of the Parks and Rec Department. We took a trip over to the renovations to learn more.
I'm here at 10 Hampton Road, the new multi-generational community center. As you can see behind me, we have a lot going on. We actually have siding that will be started this week to finish the exterior. We raised the second floor. All the multi-purpose spaces are being redone. Our mechanicals are going in, our insulation's going in, our electrical's being updated. I mean, this is gonna be a great space and it's moving fast and on time.
Those to go in. This will be a water bubbler. For this floor, 2 multi-rooms, this one, and then a half bath off the hallway.
Well, we truly want to make it a multi-generational community center. The front of the building located will have our senior lounge, which we're going to invite all of our senior citizens to come in and just relax, chill out with us. We'll have board games, periodicals, anything for them to keep busy, coffee station so they can come and have their morning coffee with us, tell us what they want.
Yeah, so this will be sort of our break room, which is just off the senior lounge here. So we'll have like a little coffee station, tea, things like that. We'll have some cabinets installed back in here with a refrigerator and a dishwasher, which will be really nice to use to clean up after luncheons and other programs that get a little messy.
While integrating different programs like preschool music or preschool dance or any type of things, and then in the afternoon transition to more of a youth-based programming for maybe a teen center or a teen after-school program or just an after-school program in general. So we want it to be used from 8 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then use over the weekends.
We have a projector on the screen, so we'll be able to have a pull-down screen here so we can actually show more movies and not have a big space taken up by a large screen that's permanent. So we'll be able to offer seminars up here. We're thinking of moving and consolidating our senior luncheons up here as well, just to have a more homey feel and really emphasize the space. I mean, we have Families First that already is looking forward to using this space, and a couple other organizations such as the Women's Club for their meeting space up here.
It's exciting because we see the progress. Hampshire Development Corporation has done an outstanding job managing our budget and keeping the project on task and on budget and on time. The project needs to be completed by the end of August, so everything is moving along splendidly, and it really is an exciting opportunity being so close to our largest facility at the recreation park. In the future, we did do a site analysis before we bought the property. It can accommodate more parking and a large addition on the back. What that large addition comes out to be, who knows? We'll do a whole site analysis again, but in general, we'd love to have a multi-purpose space where we could have a commercial kitchen as well as a space for our summer camp to duck in during inclement weather.
Today is the first day of the Great Cocktail and Mocktail Challenge, presented by the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce. Gabe Perez has all the info you need to cast your vote in the competition.
Hi, it's Samantha with Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce, here to tell you today about the 2025 Cocktail and Mocktail Challenge. From July 18th through the 27th, you'll be able to visit participating restaurants, purchase their signature drinks, and vote online. It's as easy as that. We pour, you vote. Go to exeterarea.org for participating restaurants. We'll see you between July 18th and 27th. Cheers!
The Planning Board reviewed site plan and shoreland conditional use permit for the proposed redevelopment of 97 Portsmouth Ave, currently home to Blue Ribbon Dry Cleaners. Dan Monchek has this recap covering the proposed demolition and construction of a multi-use building in our Meeting Minutes series.
This is your meeting minute for the July 10th Planning Board meeting. A representative from J. Cayley Associates came in front of the board to discuss their application for site plan review and shoreland conditional use permit for the proposed redevelopment of the property located at 97 Portsmouth Ave.
Mr. Cayley, at the time we were going through there, was contemplating a micro hotel. and has made a change in favor of the MUND, proposing 14 residential units, approximately 1,500 square feet of commercial / retail or potentially a coffee shop space in the first floor of the proposed building, as well as the small 3-season outbuilding.
After hearing a presentation on the site plan, the board opened the floor to the public to speak about the proposed construction. Gary D'Addario, a lawyer representing McLean Manor, the abutting condo property, came in front of the board to discuss concerns they had regarding the proposed building.
Parking is obviously a concern. Folks are familiar with the area. It's fairly tight as you drive around. There are multiple businesses there in addition to the residential units at McLean Manor. Realistically, chances are 14 residential units are going to result in more than 14 vehicles being at that property on a regular basis. For our purposes at McLean Manor, the concern is just to try to make sure that overflow parking doesn't end up at McLean Manor.
Mr. D'Addario went on to suggest that some kind of separation be constructed between the two properties. He also noted concerns about how McLean Manor residents would be impacted by construction.
It's their home, so they're hoping that, the hours will be reasonable, that the noise will be reasonable, that, the project isn't something that's going to completely disrupt their lives during the time that it's going on.
A representative from the other abutting property, at Bank Prov, also mentioned concerns they had about parking impacts from the proposed building. Back in the 70s, there was a chemical spill at the proposed construction site that released contaminants into the area. A resident at McLean Manor brought up his concern that construction at this property might expose more contaminants.
Right now, our main concern is that when the building comes up, being the cleaners, the perchlorethylene, I don't know what is, we have no idea what's underneath that slab.
To reassure Mr. Siegel, we are without question going to be doing some soil sampling, though none of these contaminants are typically clinging to mineral material. They dissolve and run into the water, particularly over that length of time.
The planning board then moved on to deliberation about the proposed project.
I think we're dealing with a difficult parcel in general. If you aren't familiar with it, you're going to see it pretty quickly that it's a little bit complicated, and there's a lot. If you even look at the plan, there's arrows going 7 different directions.
Yeah.
It's almost like a free-for-all. It's a pretty rough parking lot.
The board scheduled a site walk for August 13th at 8 a.m. that the public is welcome to attend. They then moved to table discussion about this property to their next meeting on August 28th in the Novak Room.
And for our last segment, we attended the American Independence Festival to learn more about how Exeter celebrates independence 2 weeks late.
One of the major changes Exeter brings to its holidays is the celebration of Independence Day on July 16th as opposed to the 4th. While the United States celebrated its official resignation from the British Empire, word could not travel quite as easily. 12 days after the news began to spread, it would officially reach Exeter on July 16th, marking the town officially removed from British tyranny.
And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Now, 250 years after the Revolutionary War began, Exeter and the American Independence Museum honor our history of independence with the AIM Fest, the American Independence Festival, bringing guests nationwide to celebrate the rich history of America's freedom. Vendors and reenactors set up shop right on the Folsom Tavern lawn, speaking with visitors about American history or demonstrating different crafts and techniques implemented over 250 years ago. Special events are given at the main stage podium, including the official reading of the Declaration of Independence, speeches from town and state figures, and a demonstration of how revolutionary militiamen would conduct themselves. New Hampshire Senator Maggie Hassan had come to partake in the celebration as well.
Oh, this is just a great festival to help us kind of remember what our history is really about, remember what it took to form this wonderful country, and the principles of freedom and independence that are at our core. The Declaration is a compact. It says we get our independence as long as we, the citizens, continue to work together to make the Union more and more perfect. And one of the fun parts of the day was talking about some of the people here from New Hampshire and from Exeter who did that even when times got hard for them and their family. They believed in the concept, the idea that our founders set out. And this is really about all of us working together every day, every year, every generation to make progress and work towards a more perfect union.
With next year's festivals falling on the 250th anniversary of the United States, and particularly Exeter's independence, the AIMFest continues to grow and expand, inviting more to do, learn, see, and enjoy.
Before we wrap up the show, a quick reminder that the Sustainability Advisory Committee is hosting a Styrofoam recycling event at Public Works, located at 13 Newfields Road, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This free event is an opportunity for residents to drop off Styrofoam, preventing it from going into landfill. That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. And head over to the town website to subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on August 1st for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, Exeter. I did all of that from memory because the teleprompter was too fast. Here we go.